Hey guys, this is my July wrap-up video in which I show you all the books that I read this month. So I read 7 books this month for the 7th month of the year. Woo! I thought that was funny. So I'm going to show you those books and tell you a little bit about what I thought of them. So the first book I picked up this month was Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. This is the second book in the Loose trilogy, the first book being Anna and the French Kiss. I loved Anna and the French Kiss, so I knew I was going to love this book. I've heard a lot of people don't like this as much as Anna, but I loved it. Some people don't like Lola. They think she's kind of annoying and unlikable, but I loved her. She does do a few things that are kind of unlikable, but I think that's what makes an interesting character, is when they make mistakes and they have flaws. So I love Lola. And Cricket Bell, I love Cricket Bell. I love how earnest he is and just genuine, and I love him. I love Etienne from Anna too, but Cricket Bell, I think Cricket Bell's up there for me. Kind of beats out Etienne. And if you've read my Book Boyfriends blog, you know that Cricket made the list and Etienne did not. Alright, so then I picked up a duology and read them back to back, finished the duology, and that was If I Stay by Gail Forman and Where She Went, also by Gail Forman, the second book. I picked these up and just flew through them. They were really short, easy reads, and the movie of this is coming out later this month, so I thought I'd pick them up and read it before the movie comes out. I have heard, great things about this book. A lot of people love these books, so I thought that I would love them. Unfortunately, I didn't love them as much as I thought I would. I really, really enjoyed them. I did, but I didn't love them as much as I thought I would. If I Stay is about a girl who gets into a car crash and basically has to decide, she gets stuck in this kind of limbo area and has to decide whether to stay or whether to go. And the way that this book is written is kind of detached from the emotions, so I wasn't attached to the emotions. I didn't connect. So I thought I would cry when I read this book because I cried just watching the trailer, but I didn't. I didn't even think of crying, but I really, really did enjoy it. The second book I enjoyed even more than the first book. I love Adam. This book is from his point of view. I just enjoyed it so much more than Mia, but I enjoyed both of them. So I gave If I Stay 4 out of 5 stars and Where She Went 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next book I picked up was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. BookTube has been raving about this book, and I knew I had to have it. I knew I had to read it immediately. The less you know, the better it is. Just go in knowing nothing. So that's basically what I did. I went in knowing nothing and did not disappoint. It did not disappoint at all. So good. So I'm not going to tell you anything about this book other than go pick it up and read it, because I don't want to spoil you. The less you know, the better. Alright, the next book I picked up was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I actually started this book and then put it down to finish the next book that I'm going to show you. But I did finish this a couple days before July ended, and this is my first Patrick Ness book. I loved it. I cried. You know how I said I didn't cry while I read If I Stay? I cried. I cried during this book. That's where all my tears went. This book is beautiful, beautiful illustrations in it that have to do with the story. They're all black and white, and just this book will bring on all the feels. So if you don't know about this book, I will link the Goodreads below. Go check it out and read it. I think anybody would love this book, whether you're a general YA reader or not. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. Alright, then the book that I put down A Monster Calls for, Strange and Ever After by Susan Dennard. This is the third book in the Spirit Hunters trilogy. I just flew through it in a couple of days over the weekend. It's the perfect conclusion to the trilogy. If you haven't heard of this trilogy, it is about a girl who lives in Philadelphia in 1876, and the dead begin to rise. And she is searching for her brother, who she hasn't heard from in a while, and she enlists the help of the spirit hunters to help her fight off the dead and find her brother. These books are so good. Perfect conclusion to the trilogy. It made me cry. second book this month to make me cry, but it was so worth it. Pick this trilogy up. 5 out of 5 stars if you couldn't tell. And the last book I read this month, I finished A Monster Calls on July 29th, and I was like, can I finish another book in the next 2 days? Probably not, but let's try. Picked up Hollow City and didn't read anything on July 30th. So when July 31st ran around, I was like, I need a really short book that I can just fly through and say that I've read 7 books this month. So I picked up Tales of Beetle the Bard. Only 109 pages, so I flew through it in a couple of hours with some interruptions from my dogs. It's beautiful. I love it. I use the word beautiful a lot. This book is written by J.K. Rowling, obviously, but within the Harry Potter world, it is written by Beetle the Bard, but all of these stories, they're folklore stories and fairy tale stories from the Wizarding world, so they're really old, so they're translated by Hermione Granger, and there are notes about each story at the end by Professor Dumbledore. I cried just reading the introduction because it's J.K. Rowling talking about Professor Dumbledore's notes, and it's Dumbledore, okay? It's beautiful. So I cried, and then I loved all the rest of these. They're really cute fairy tales, and I love Dumbledore's commentary on them and what they mean. It's just really, any Harry Potter fan, if you haven't read this, you need to pick it up and read it. It's a really quick read. 5 out of 5 stars. So that was it. That was the books I read in July. I am currently reading Hollow City by Ransom Riggs, which is the second Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children book. And after that, I don't really know what I'm going to read in August, so I'm not going to do a TBR for this month. But hopefully at the end of the month, you'll see me again with another wrap-up video. Bye! This is my Jalap. Lola and the Boy Next Door.